Hello everyone, I'm Aaron and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Last time we almost lost Navia. Freaking game giving me a heart attack. But I guess it helped getting a sad but almost satisfactory farewell for Melus and Silver, who unfortunately lost their lives when the Primordial Sea came to Espina de Rosula. Now we are here to talk with Nebilet because he was gonna ask some questions to Furina. So let's see what he has to say. Let us begin.
You're here! Finally!
Finally, oh gosh, were we expected?
Is something wrong? Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute.
Oh.
Please go see for yourself.
Sounds pretty serious. The heck?
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
I don't think you have, girl.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalors, are you not?
Are you, or are you not?
Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
Oh, tell her.
You mean they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster.
Yep.
And I will not have it happen again.
Yep, no, we can't let it happen again.
I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that.
Might as well be. We need some information, Furina.
But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
Yeah, and I didn't discuss it last time, but it almost looks, the way that they are framed, that the Archon was the one who committed the sin, not the people of Fontaine, which, I don't know, it's interesting.
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 featured different images that seemed to correlate to the prophecy.
But also they thought that maybe one of them was out of order.
The prophecy?
You know what we're talking about, Furina.
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
We can show them to you.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
Is that what she's trying to hide? That the Archon was the one who committed the sin?
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know.
Or maybe...
She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing?
It's a little strange, but I do get your point. I wonder, because again, I know things. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, it's not a spoiler, right? Because if you've seen the trailer, you see what's going to happen. I think maybe the second slate might be a way to avert the prophecy, or by changing the order, you could avert the prophecy, and maybe the Archon has to die in order for that to happen. Like the sin was committed by the Archon, so the Archon has to be the one to pay in order for the people of Fontaine not to suffer, maybe?
I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon.
Right.
But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries.
Maybe once she realized that she was guilty, or no, not her, but because she is the Hydro Archon, she carries that sin over. Maybe she's trying to find another solution.
You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
That it is.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
Pretty nice.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it.
And what is your plan?
There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine.
Well, people are already dead, so if it was gonna turn out fine, I feel like it would have turned out fine a while ago.
That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
You mean Toodles? Come on, traveler. What? She just ran?
Did Farina not notice
What?
us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling.
Seemed like she just
Didn't
kinda
seem in the
ignored
mood
us.
to care if we were listening in or not.
Yeah.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Okay, I apologize if the sound was off before this. I'm still getting some audio issues despite me replacing a cable and getting a new microphone. It has to be the audio interface that is causing all these problems, so I will get to work on that. So, yeah, I apologize. Let's continue.
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
I feel like, yeah, either she didn't notice us or she noticed us, but just didn't pay mind to us, you know?
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage?
I'm afraid questions alone might not suffice. We need to make her understand how dire the situation actually is.
Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The
Ooh.
issue is her attitude. I
Yeah.
fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to.
Is that when are we gonna put her on trial so that she confesses?
We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Ooh,
Like what?
like putting her on trial.
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial.
Oh, let's
Perhaps we must
go!
have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
I mean, no matter what, she's gonna have to face the Oratrice, and the Oratrice might reveal something, or she might confess. Like, it will put pressure on her no matter
We
what,
need
you know?
to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can.
I like that. Nation of Trials. Trial is the way to reveal the truth. I like that.
If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but
I
we
mean,
must prevent the prophecy
like-
from coming to pass.
yeah, we've done so much.
This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this.
In that case, we will need help.
But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Oh, I think I know who to call. Whoa, on a boat somewhere in quiet Poisson. A few days later.
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Oh, we're assembling the plan?
Poisson was just involved in a disaster.
Oh, the Fatui!
So it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
Good point.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
Wait,
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
are we gonna join forces with the Harbinger?
Lend me your ears, everyone.
Hi, Navi.
Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Remine, let's go.
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Just Remine is my goat. He's my Ryan Gosling. He's literally me, for real, for real.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I
Nouvellette.
will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
I mean, we gotta prepare.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Hi, Clorinde.
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something.
Yes, ma'am. We're just getting started and I'm feeling so hype about this situation.
As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Just drown her in charges against
Oh,
the
how
Archon.
intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Clorand and used on the spot.
What?
So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Clap, clap, clap.
Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Well, but you can explain, right?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
Yeah, but he's right here, by the way.
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
Oh. I don't know why that sounded kind of sweet to me. The way he said it as well. I'm glad, you know?
In that
Like
case,
he sounded genuinely glad.
do any of you have experience hunting?
Not
Ooh.
that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As
What?
for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
Oh.
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
Probably.
I'm afraid not.
Oh.
You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that
Oh.
was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey.
I don't know if we'll get to that point, but I feel like if we get as close to it, I feel like that will be the key.
So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
Are you sure?
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
Now we're seeing Lenny full potential. Lenny in the fortress was kinda, I don't know, he was caught in a rough spot by the Duke. But I'm glad that we're now seeing him in full potential, you know?
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach.
Oh,
That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm
That's
and
smart.
steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
dragons don't go hunting? I guess dragons can just, you know, swoop in and grab whatever they want.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without
Yep.
the use of any such tricks.
There you
But I do
go.
have one more question for you, monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
Ooh.
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Nice. I feel that.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
Makes sense.
So, are we going hunting together?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. See, I'm telling you,
We started
Freminette.
seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
Okay, it is a metaphor
If our
then.
means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial,
Okay.
the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god. A being
Yeah.
whose seat is an exalted throne.
That's right.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
Clarines hunting metaphor was just that, a metaphor. Oh, they actually did it! Yo, clap it up for Genshin, actually. Clap it up. They actually made this a non-missable thing where you gotta click to continue, and it's not just 5 seconds, you're done. You guys are doing a good job. And this quest so far has been great. Hey, the death bait about Navia was a little much for me, but everything on a technical level has been top-notch, I dare say. Clarines hunting metaphor was just that, a metaphor. You will not call this a hunt because this is not what you should do at present, nor has the relationship between you and Furina reached such a dire stage. Yeah. What you need is simply the secrets she is keeping. Attempting to take her secrets is an act of sacrilegious disrespect, but must be done to prevent Fontaine from sinking into the waters as foretold in the prophecy. There is neither hunter nor prey, but there must be a trap. That is what you will need. Hey, that was good. I like how that's all they had to do, just add that little dot that you had to click to continue, and you have me clapping. And Game of the Year, Genshin Impact. 2020? Screw that, Game of the Year 2023. I will be voting for Genshin, unless it's against Sonic, then I'll be voting Sonic, because it will be pretty funny.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening.
Those meetings sure did make me hungry.
Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh? Paimon
Yeah.
thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised.
Do you feel more confident after the meetings, Paimon?
Well,
I do. More than confident, I guess. I feel just hyped.
it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great.
Fair enough, fair enough.
After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Huh?
Something wrong?
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
No, I didn't.
Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
What the heck?
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
That's not the Harbinger.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
What the frick?
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
Oh yeah, I think the Wanderer quest, right? Where Wanderer basically rewrote history, deleted himself from the Tree of Irminsul or whatever, and basically made it so he wasn't ever born, or as people remember, him not being born ever, or something like that. And obviously he lost his own memories.
I fear that description is wrong. Though,
Oh.
not completely wrong. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all.
Yeah, who are you? And what do you want with us?
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Oh, one of the witches? So this is one of the friends of Mona's master, the enigmatic N of the Hexen. Allow me to ask you, will Fontaine's prophecy come true?
Prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What?
Interesting.
Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Teyvat so easily be changed?
There it is again, fate. Can there really be no exceptions?
So you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
Ooh, okay, so the prophecy will be fulfilled just from a certain perspective, right? Is that kind of deal?
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
The tea in the teacup is just about gone as well.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change.
How are you drinking it without lifting it up? Are you just drinking out of a straw or something? How are you doing this? Tell me.
Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
Cool. Thanks.
The voice. It's gone.
Or maybe she's still here and she's just being really quiet. That'd be funny, actually. Mage N, is this the clue you're leaving for us? You unexpected news, these too complicated feelings, you like... Okay. When you wake up, someone seems to be outside. I take it back. Genshin Depths.
I want to hear someone talking.
Ooh.
Alright, coming.
You're getting more diligent, Paimon.
It's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see
Am I?
I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
What's up, Mona? How you been this past few days?
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not
Really?
all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so
Makes
we had
sense.
a brief chat with her.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. You
Of
remember
course.
her, right? That daredevil journalist.
Daredevil is a good way to put
I'm
it.
in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Yes, about what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try
Dang.
again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
I mean, fortunately, someone already came over. Yeah, you tell Mona about your mysterious guest.
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
Yep. I believe she came to pass a message to us.
That even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon.
Yeah.
Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen
Well.
Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met
Interesting.
her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Dang.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Yeah, they're really out there pumping that protein.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Yeah, I mean, Alice is some kind of elf. She told it to Klee as well that she would live for many, many hundreds of years.
Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now.
Her words were meant as a helpful hint, but when will we realize their value and meaning? Was that the best answer that my question could have gotten?
Paimon,
Good question.
are you two alright?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
Dang, Paimon, when you put it like that.
See. I feel that same sense of desperation, too.
No, I get
I
that,
guess
yeah.
you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone.
Kinda, yeah.
I did originally think of steering
You
clear
get that
of all
kind of
this,
feeling.
but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't
Nice.
struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh. You do have a point.
Yeah.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff. I need to get going.
Don't worry about it, Mona, and thank
It
you.
was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Perhaps. Anyway, Mona's cool, just
I
showing
feel
up every
kinda
now and then,
moved by
but
what Mona said,
yeah.
but also kinda sad too. Hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go.
Sure. But shouldn't we
Let's
be
walk around
acting
the
on the
city,
plan?
shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Okay. Why are we diverting now? Weren't we gonna put the plan in motion? Or are we still trying to figure out what we need to do to trap the Archon into the trial? Oh, the news stand. Does she want to read a novel or something?
Our names are written in this newspaper.
Oh.
What's going on?
Maybe we're famous?
Let Paimon see!
Did we talk to Charlotte about the Fortress of Meripith once we left?
The underwater stronghold, the Fortress
Yeah.
of Meripith, has continued in its noble autonomy. But that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that.
Wait, we didn't tell her about the Duke? Didn't she ask us to tell her about it?
Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report. A blonde adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress.
Yep. A blonde adventurer with their white fairies. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it?
So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades.
Wait, did we talk with her? Because, to be fair, she did pay for our food. Everything that we ordered, so we'll feel a little bad if we didn't.
The Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh.
What?
Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead?
That seems to be the case, yeah.
Seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
Alright, Genshin, you have... Oh, never mind, we're going to Spina di Rosula's place.
Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat?
Sure thing. Oh.
Hey, quick! Look! That's...
What?
That's the limited edition, only 16 slices of cake!
It hasn't already sold out for the day?
So delicious the last time we tried it! Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. Paimon's sure it'll be great!
We can't let anyone get ahead of us.
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all!
Well, there's still a couple of slices left.
Wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
I guess. Can you become playable? I don't want Sichuan, I just want you to become playable. Finally, we get a Melusine that is a little more recurring. Other than, you know, everyone else has just been kinda like shows up and then they go back into the shadows and we never hear from them again. But you, we have talked with you multiple times throughout the quest. That would actually be very funny. If they bait us thinking Sichuan is gonna become the playable character, but it's Sadine. They will never do that. I mean, they already obviously very clearly modeled the character to be playable, so...
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That'll be funny though.
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Hey, that's kinda based, not gonna lie.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
Where is this coming from, Paimon?
But why would it close?
Right.
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow.
Paimon?
You know, like in the prophecy.
Wait, that's a good question. Do Melusine dissolve?
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, it wouldn't keep me from having some today.
That's a good point. I feel like the Melusines probably wouldn't dissolve, right? But I guess, yeah, it will close down because, you know, the maid here will probably get dissolved, so...
It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go?
I kinda dig it. 2?
These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans.
Could she be a more mature Melusine, and that's why she has more human appearance? No, I don't think that's how it works.
She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here.
Aww. Also, the VA is awesome. I love how unique they sound.
I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
Please, Mihoyo, do it for me. Do it for me. I will C6 her if she becomes a 5-star. She will never become a 5-star. If you make Asadine playable character, I'll C6 her. I will buy a weapon for her. I will build her. It doesn't matter if I have to spend money. I will build her completely. Come on, please, Mihoyo. That would actually be so cool. Maybe next year, April Fools, they make Asadine playable. That'd be awesome. That is so funny.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious.
Share a glance with Paimon and snarf down the cake.
More delicious than last time. And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow.
We can come here every day.
Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
Maybe we can. We just gotta have, another reason to stop the prophecy.
Oh, we're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve. You just used us to make some quick mora.
Can we negotiate a profit split?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that.
Oh.
It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's
Yeah.
alright, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Dang, that's nice. I mean, again, I wouldn't even have minded if she didn't give us money, because she did pay for her food last time, and it was a lot.
Really? Oh, you're the best!
I guess Charlotte just has money.
You're almost a little too easy
Good
to
for her.
win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
That's true.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Do we know that? We really have this habit of talking to these people like 2 or 3 times, and now we feel like we know everyone, or at least Paimon. Now we feel like we know everything about them.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
Right.
See. It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
A very good description, in my opinion.
Nice. In which case, can this
Nice.
daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
Ooh.
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Oh, okay. So now we're actually gonna discuss what we accorded last time. You seriously want to interview me?
Yeah. Are we even qualified enough?
What? You don't need to be qualified to be interviewed, right? Like, yeah, maybe you gotta be notable, but they also interview just normal people in the street,
Not?
literally.
If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it.
Exactly.
But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Okay.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and... Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
Oh.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Paimon, you're gonna scare people with questions like that.
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly,
From the scene?
I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end.
Interesting.
So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking.
Huh.
It sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless.
And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist.
It does sound like it.
Anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
Cool.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
let's
get
go
what you
and
mean.
take a look at the sea, shall we?
She's truly passionate about writing. Well, specifically about journalist writing, right?
The sea breeze
yeah.
and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
Yep.
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Teyvat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do?
To the stars.
No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
I mean, if I could choose, speaking on behalf of the Traveler, if they used to explore the galaxies, you know, we'd just leave the planet and go somewhere else. If I could choose, it's just like Charlotte said. Suddenly trying to consider what to do is pointless.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Until that moment comes, I think I'll keep journeying on.
You mean, still traveling?
Yeah, cherishing every single moment that I have to look upon this world.
Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Yeah, kinda like Charlotte, you know? Venter goes back and forth between the two of you as time slips by. As night falls, you return to your accommodations and end this busy day. Now we have the dots again. Maybe they are testing this, like, see how we like it or something like that, which I'm really liking it. I really appreciate it. Hope it stays. The next few days are just as calm. Charlotte comes to find you and conducts the interview in Spina de Rosula's safe house at the Fleuve Cendre. I probably mispronounced that. Navia, having finished her business in Poisson, even drops by to take a photo with the two of you. All goes well. I wonder if Paimon is foreshadowing, though, that the flood will come in the next few days. Like, even the next day. I feel like that's too soon.
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough.
Damn, Paimon. People live
Better than
here.
the Fortress of Meropide, that's for sure. It's not only
Yeah.
big there, but salty too.
So the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Yeah. Hi, Isadora.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
She was there, yeah.
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervilat sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide.
So you're under the impression that we might be wanted criminals?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his.
Okay.
Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Ooh, did something happen?
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
What the heck?
A riot?
Yeah,
Well,
what?
that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her.
Oh, could that be the trap that they
Loudly
set?
accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis.
Ooh.
And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
Oh, dang.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I guess.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry.
Just like with
The
Novelette.
Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
Oh,
So, you mean she's still missing?
what the heck?
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
I got you. I mean, she was afraid of the knave, so I don't know.
Monsieur Nervilat sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Is
Yeah.
that so? Well, all right then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Why are they looking at each other like that?
Sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
Yep, you sure caught on quickly.
If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And
You're right.
as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse.
You think she went there to see the disaster by herself?
It would be hard for her to
With her own
ignore
eyes?
being accused by the public today.
Yeah.
Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up too. Cool, huh?
I see becoming a detective's done some good. Looks like those detective novels have had an effect on you.
In case there's not a moment to lose.
Yeah.
Poisson, here we come.
Let's go. Okay, I'm liking this so far.
Too slow.
Seems like things are finally kicking off. Okay, let's go to Poisson. Well, I guess they kinda kicked off with the whole Navia situation. They kinda mellowed down again, and it feels like now the trap is probably ready to be set. Or has been set.
Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left
Yeah.
here are signs of death at station.
That is understandable.
Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible.
That looks like her. Yeah, that is her. Right? Yeah. Oh, I think I just died. Yeah. What is she up to?
That's Farina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
Stay quiet, Paimon.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Farina.
Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina. It's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Sure.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains?
Paimon like always.
Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing my enjoyment of the arts. They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found.
Oh, come on, girl. Be honest with yourself.
Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marche Chaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too.
She is a good actress. Can I give her that? Stop trying to act tough, Farina. You're actually beyond devastated right now, aren't you?
Of course not.
Hey, there she is. The Hydro Archon's over there. Quick, after her.
Dang.
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
You think?
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they?
I don't think they are.
That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
So what are you going to do? She's gonna...
Farina
yep.
just ran off.
Yep, she just ran up.
Quick, we have to catch up with her.
Farina's the only one that we haven't seen really use any powers, you know? Wow, they're really running, huh? She really hasn't. Maybe it's the curse that she has. Oh, we hit very well. Nice.
This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina!
Stop running.
Good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Is this the trap?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
What? Oh, wow. Is this a bunker? What the heck?
Paimon's exhausted.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
Yeah. This place is not what I'd call soundproof. You might want to lower your voice to stay hidden. Good.
You're right.
Good point, Traveler.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What the heck, Paimon? Also, what the heck?
What's happening? The ground's shaking.
Oh.
Is it an earthquake?
Another disaster just struck.
Yeah.
Oh.
A quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
Is that gonna happen? Aren't we pretty low?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Neuvillette made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
And this place is mostly deserted now. That's a good point.
Yeah. I hope you're right.
Unless it rises even higher.
But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Furina finally reached her limit. Now that she's talking about her actual feelings, she's starting to look far less stiff. You begin to talk amongst yourselves as Furina slowly calms down.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years.
Oh, she's just gonna open up now?
I once had informants all over Teyvat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
But you still haven't given up yet, right?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
But that would also mean that all hope will disappear.
Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives.
Yep.
But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end.
See? I really believe in her conviction, but she has done this type of speech multiple times already, and she hasn't come up with a solution, so let's get to work. Nope.
Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden.
Right.
But honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all.
I think worse has to come to worse. I think we gotta make that trial happen.
Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
Come on! I could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Starting to get a little frustrating, girl. We're running out of time. We can't just go back to square one like this. I have to get more information out of her. You might not have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden? That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
Even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Confide. I don't know why I said confide. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness?
Hmm.
Yes. I've heard that you came to Teyvat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Teyvat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
You could say that, yeah. or your eyewitness in a case when you get put on trial. I mean, if you.
If that's the case...
Oh. There's no time left. Please, Furina, just spit it out. Oh, she's going to do it. Maybe. Did she not? Whoa. Oh, shoot. Whoa! What? Oh! The trap. Wow.